tuned in to GOAT Radio. I'm your host, Just Incredible. Oh, I got a crazy show lined up for y'all today. Too many exclusives on the way from my brother, King Los. Let's get it rolling. This is new music right here.
Whole world suffer from heartbreak. Whole world break each other heart and partake in self-hate. Whole world gang bang, prostitute and sell weight. Whole world turn social media into jail bait. Whole world really at war, not just Ukraine. Whole world slaves, what white privilege did you gain? Whole world sick, no COVID, they just sick. Whole world fake, everybody reading the script. Whole world evil, whole world complain about the whole world. Screaming the whole world's insane. Whole world running out of time at the same time. Whole world one body sharing the same mind. Whole world could just change, but they reluctant. Whole world feed off pain and they destructive. Whole world living a nightmare, a bad one. Whole world hate your dream cause they don't have one. Run for your life, the whole world will smoke you. Soon as you die, the whole world will post you and give you all the flowers you can't smell. Whole world should have had his back when that man fell. Whole world set up every nigga they chill with. Whole world pull out all their cameras and film it. The whole world lost and they still in the matrix. The whole world love language really is hatred. The whole world scamming your money, claiming they activists. Whole world using your failure for all their happiness. Whole world casting a spell, doing witchcraft. Whole world a joke, and when you get it, just laugh. Whole world no good hoes that's for the streets. Whole world running from bullies they can't beat. Whole world wait till you famous to know your name, then kill you and they won't feel shit. Novocaine.
Welcome to the live, y'all.
King Los.
Welcome to the live, guys. We're gonna run that back.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Run that back.
Yes, sir. You're now tuned in to GOAT Radio.
Make sure y'all get the
I'm
likes
your
up on this
host,
stream.
Just Incredible. Oh, I got a crazy show lined up for y'all
I
today.
don't own any copyrights.
Too many exclusives on the way from my brother, King Los. Let's get it rolling. This is new music right here.
Whole world suffer from heartbreak. Whole world break each other heart and partake in self-hate. Whole world gang bang, prostitute and sell weight. Whole world turn social media into jail bait. Whole world really at war, not just Ukraine. Whole world slaves, what white privilege did you gain? Whole world sick, no COVID, they just sick. Whole world fake, everybody reading the script. Whole world evil, whole world complain about the whole world. Screaming the whole world's insane. Whole world running out of time at the same time. Whole world one body sharing the same mind. Whole world could just change, but they reluctant. Whole world feed off pain and they destructive. Whole world living a nightmare, a bad one. Whole world hate your dream cause they don't have one. Run for your life, the whole world will smoke you. Soon as you die, the whole world will post you and give you all the flowers you can't smell. Whole world should have had his back when that man fell. Whole world set up every nigga they chill with. Whole world pull out all their cameras and film it. The whole world lost and they still in the matrix. The whole world love language really is hatred. The whole world scamming your money, claiming they activists. Whole world using your failure for all their happiness. Whole world casting a spell, doing witchcraft. Whole world a joke, and when you get it, just laugh. Whole world no good hoes that's for the streets. Whole world running from bullies they can't beat. Whole world wait till you famous to know your name, then kill you and they won't feel shit. Novocaine.
Welcome to the live, y'all. Welcome to the live. Make sure you get the likes up on this stream. If you are feeling it, if you can relate to the topic, if you know, man, look, I should have been live a couple days ago. Shout out to my husband who's the mod, holding the chat down, you know. Should have been live a couple days ago, man. This world is just, hey, let's just be 100. The world is just evil now at this point. It's evil. It's evil. Like, but the thing is, it's the people that make the world easy. See, it's not just the world. I said easy. It's the people that make the world evil. It's not just the world, just evil. You know, it's not just the world is just evil. It's the people that make the world evil. Because it seems like the people can't make their own decisions. They can't decide on their own. Apparently, they have a hard time with critical thinking now. That's how bad it has became. And I don't want to hear you got your degree and, you can think. See, the thing is, this is the zombie apocalypse. The movies and stuff that they showed you, that's how they want you to think that's how the zombies, is gonna look. People are already infected. I spoke on this before. People are already infected. Once you go unconscious, you already infected. When you can't think for yourself, you infected. When somebody else got to do the thinking for you, you infected. When you can't use this up here for some reason, because it's just running wild, can't really think, and then when you do think, all you think about is working and money and materialism and holidays and everything that the government created. Mind control, baby. They control you at this point. You have no control over yourself. You know what's crazy, y'all? We live amongst a bunch of adults that ain't got no self-control. You would have thought that their mothers and their fathers taught them right, which they probably did, but it seemed like, let's be 100, ever since, hey, YouTube, do not take me off of here for saying this, but let's be 100. Ever since COVID, it has made the world go unconscious. Seem like, people just, they can no longer think for themselves. Think? What? What does that mean? Think. I don't even know that. Like, think, the word think has become foreign. Think? They can't think. If you ain't talking about money, you ain't talking about shit. Chris, what's up? It's a shame. And then people don't even read anymore. They don't read at all. Whatever they read, it's on the internet. It's headlines, it's titles, it's the algorithm, it's, the next update, status update. That's the only thing they reading. And they reading commas if they see it too. And dollar signs, they reading their schedule when they gotta go to work. That's what they're reading. But people don't pick up books anymore. They don't even read that. What is that? Books? We don't read books. We read ebooks. Online, but everything is online. People literally, this paper, that shit don't even exist anymore to them. Paper? The only paper that they seeing is the bills that they get in the mail. The only paper that they seeing is the paper that's printed. So they can, use that to purchase the necessary materialistic items that they crave so much. Attention spans is shot. And that's just the harsh truth. That's the harsh reality. I know a lot of people probably don't like what I'm saying, but the reality is we're already in the zombie apocalypse. That's the reality. See, the thing is, the whole world had the opportunity. They had chances. They had opportunities to change who they were as a person. They had the opportunity. And when the opportunity presents itself, you still have it. But people are just very resistant and very stubborn and very, prideful. period. To the point where they don't want to change because they don't feel like there is anything that they should change about themselves. They feel like they are perfectly fine. But the truth is, we are walking amongst zombies and mentally ill patients. Okay? The spiritually dead. It's like you have a body, but the lights ain't on. You're just a walking flesh. Period. What's up, Evelyn? Let me see. I'm trying to make sure. Physical movement is against. You know what's against the law? Using pen and paper. When I be writing and stuff like that, people look at me like, what is she? They look at me like they saw a damn ghost. Like the looks on their faces is like, she's right using a pen? What is a pen? What is this stuff? How has this became foreign? How? And if you don't pay attention to your phone like them, something is wrong with you too. If you don't have a Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or some sort of, you don't have a social media, not even a TikTok, something is wrong with you. Remember, once upon a time, it used to be Android versus the iPhones. Now something is wrong with you, period, for not having a social media platform. Something is seriously wrong with you if you don't want to stare into your phone all day long. Something is seriously wrong with you if you decide to pick up the cheapest item in the store that's on sale and not get the name brand item. Couldn't be me. I get name brand products. Right. And you're the same person that be on the internet showing what you got in the bag and complaining at the same time about the prices. Duh. You grab the most expensive thing. But you just have an issue with proving to the world that you're not broke. Why do you care? I mean, like, why do you even care what people think about you if you're broke or not? You know what? When people come to the realization that it's a spiritual thing and we are under attack for our souls, I hope it don't be too late. I hope it don't be too late when you finally find out that it is not about the finer things in life. It is not about, financial success. It's not about what you have. It's not about what type of job you work in. It's when you finally realize that it's not about that. I hope it's not too late. I hope it's not too late. Welcome. Who is this? Yeah. I hope it's not too late. People so far gone that they so far gone, bro. They really think that it's about having a job. Life is about working. Now, rightfully so, you have to take care of the things that you have because you got a responsibility. But it ain't just about working. It's more to life than just working. And when I say more to life, more to your life, so you just empty. You just a worker. You just a hard worker. That's all you want to be labeled as. You don't want people to see the change on the outside because you decided to change on the inside. Oh, let me guess. You don't have nothing to change for. Change? What? What do you mean change? I don't have to change for anybody because there's nothing wrong with me. Let's be 100. Each and every last one of us on this earth has an issue. One damn issue at least. And when you know that you got an issue, it is your duty to address it, to change it. Notice I said issue, problem. But see, people don't think they have to change anything. You know? They don't even think they got issues because they're a hard worker. They work, they go to school, they take care of their families, and that's all you really hear. People don't talk about how they have a close relationship with God. They don't even talk about God. They don't even bring God up at all anymore. Most people don't. Most people talk about jobs and the income. You know? And then they always worried about the wrong stuff. They don't care about what you talk. They don't care about what you talking about on live. That doesn't matter to them. They are worried about your background. You know? They want to see that. Move out the way so they can see that. You know? Oh, it's not to our satisfaction. We don't like that. What did you do? What is that? A bunch of, I'm going to just be 100. We live in a world with a bunch of judgmental zombies. Judgmental zombies. Nah, it's okay. It's cool. But that's just a prime example of how y'all should make sure that y'all are reading what my mod is putting, because you need to stay on topic. That's the thing. Right. So that's my thing. Like, no disrespect, all due respect. When y'all coming in, we're talking about, the topic is always pinned below. That's exactly what we're talking about. Any off-topic comments definitely will be removed and you will be blocked, because that's just how we do it on this live. And we always put everything in the live stream when the stream first starts. You know, so I get it. You didn't know. It's cool. So for future reference, we always stand on topic. Yeah, because we get people that come in here and they try to throw you completely off, you know. So I do appreciate, that you are definitely engaging at this point. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's their first time. I gotta admit, I thought that, shoot, they was about to troll, because that's all we get. Majority of the times, people, they come in here and they immediately start trolling. Real talk. They don't even be trying to listen to what you're saying, because, like I said, what I be saying, it don't matter. You said, what do we do about the evil world? How do we escape? Get out the matrix. Just get out the matrix. First and foremost, stop scrolling. Because the algorithm, and by the way, I actually wrote down some notes, had to. And just going off of, this is pretty much like a part 2 from my husband's live stream that he did earlier. And I just want to say, first and foremost, it's the algorithm. The algorithm is very evil and wicked. Okay? And you don't even want to end up in the algorithm anymore. You want to know why you don't want to end up in the algorithm anymore? Because now it has gotten to the point where people and their judgment could be a potential it can be chaos, it can cause mass chaos based off of someone's opinion about your video. What's up? Cheddar. I think I said that right. Become one with self, love yourself, champ, everything about you also stay. Yeah, facts. So the algorithm, so y'all remember it was the news media at first, right? It's no longer the news media really, because obviously they have low ratings. It's social media now. Social media is on and popping right now. And you got ages ranging from, you might as well say one, because 1-year-olds have tablets and phones. One all the way to damn 99. Ages 1 to 99. Matter of fact, 100. Let me stop. 1 to 100 is on, literally. Ages 1 to 100 is on social media. Social media is so many different social media platforms. The whole world is on them. If they don't have a social media platform, they have an online gaming account. I'm telling you, the internet is the MF. And it ain't got to the point where the scrolling has become so addictive. They said, oh, people are scrolling. They're interested in social media now. Okay, now we know what to do. We're going to put something in. Oh, they have opinions now. Since when did their opinion matter? Okay, we'll put that in the algorithm for them to see, what their opinions are. Oh, looks like, we're stirring up a little chaos here. See, now they're starting to they're starting to think that this is a game to them. This has become a game to them, and it has become very funny to them. You want to know why? Because y'all are engaging in the game with them. The algorithm is very wicked. It is literally, now I see it as one of the biggest problems right now. It's one of the biggest reasons. How can I break it down? When you scrolling through your phone, right? Obviously you scrolling, especially on YouTube, you scrolling through the algorithm. There's a lot of videos that pop up, Imagine 1 million people clicking on that same video. Imagine 100,000 people clicking on that same video. Imagine the people that you live in a household with, they clicking on the same video too, because apparently it's been sent to them as well. It's in their algorithm as well. See, this is the games that they playing. Everybody now is entitled to their own opinion. Now you're entitled to your own opinion. But in their eyes, you have no First Amendment rights at all. But once you scroll through the algorithm and you click on that doggone video, you got First Amendment rights right there. Because you can write whatever the hell you want in the comment section. And your opinion matters. Just as well as 999,000 other people opinions. It matters as well. Yeah. Brainwashed. But I've been there though. I've been there. I don't want to talk like, this is something that I've been on a long time ago. It took for me to regain consciousness, and wake up out of that deep sleep and realize that, hey, this world is just becoming a lot more evil. social media is becoming a lot more evil. Social media, you know what? Everybody was on Facebook, right? Everybody was on Facebook. A lot of people have left Facebook. A lot of people have left Facebook and now they have decided to live their lives according to social media. So it's not even like they still ain't snapped out of it. You know, they still ain't snapped out of it. They just left social media and social media taught them something. And what social media taught them is clicks, likes, views, you know, validation. Social media has really raised them. You know, that's all they needed. Real talk. So social media took them. They sold their souls to social media. So it was so much easier for them to leave Facebook behind because everybody else did it too. That's the thing. They do everything that everybody else does. Everybody does everything the same exact way nowadays. You know, it's just a trend. But they believe that they are trendsetters. They believe they set the trend. That's the thing. Everybody think that they set the trend. Whole time they following trends. You followed that trend. Now you deleted your Facebook account because you heard that 300,000 other people did it. But now the thing is, you left Facebook with a Facebook mindset. Now you live your life every day just like how you was living it on Facebook. You ain't really left it alone because what they say, metaverse, seems like you're there. Oh, what's up, Mr. Carter? You said for everyone here, I know it's holiday season, so if you can't donate to the channel or become a member, smacking the like button and subscribe. Yep, like button is free. Subscribe button is free. You know, all that. They lost in the sauce. But I really don't want everybody to be lost. You can only help so many people. I just want to let y'all know, look, I snapped out of it and I regained my consciousness, I want to say 3.5, 4 years ago. Because I was into the social media thing. Once upon a time. I looked for validation once upon a time. I had too much pride once upon a time. I was you once upon a time. But guess what? I was never too stubborn to acknowledge that. I was never too stubborn to change. And it's not too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know, I sound like a pastor when they be like, come on down to the altar. You know, it's not too late to repent for your sins. I'm just saying, though. It's not too late to change, though. It's really not. It's about growth. You have to allow yourself to grow through the things that you go through. So what if I did somebody wrong like 20 minutes ago? Well, it's the fact that you need to acknowledge that you did somebody wrong 20 minutes ago. You know, acknowledge that you did somebody wrong 20 minutes ago. And if you can find them, make sure you apologize to them. Because I know you feel that conviction. I know you feel very guilty. I know you do. Pray about it for sure. Pray about it for sure. Repentance. When you repent, you already know you ain't about to go back and do the same thing again. That's what people got to understand about me as a person, though. They don't know what I do in private. What I do in private, only the Most High God knows that. But one thing I could tell you right now is when I repent for my sins, when I repent, I don't go back and do the same thing again. Especially if I know better. Everybody say that saying, well, you know, when you know better, you do better. It's so easy for people to say that, but they don't act on it at all. A lot of people really just say stuff like that. Well, when you know better, you do better. So are you going to ever do better? Because it seems like every time I say the words change, it just, people just, it's just a cuss word to them. But when you know better, you do better, ain't? That's just a way of telling a person it's okay when they do wrong, when they constantly do wrong. Because a lot of people really use that quote to justify, continuing to do wrong. Exactly. That's crazy how I said the same thing. Right, R.I.P. Pastor Stephen Darby, man. Everybody got these little quotes and sayings. Everybody know how to say the right things, don't they? Everybody know how to, hey, man, hey, I hear you on that one, man. Nah, you don't hear me. What? You know what? What would happen if I was to go around telling people the harsh truth? For instance, what do y'all think would happen if I was to go around telling people the harsh truth? If a person say, how you doing? And I say, oh, I'm doing good. And I just start breaking down, why I'm doing good. Okay, maybe I ain't say that right. Wait a minute. Yeah, maybe I ain't say that right. But it's just that people get irritated, They get irritated when you are keeping it real with them and they just fake and programmed. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good because I had did this, that, and the third, and I went here, there, came back this way, and then went around this way. And then it's the fact that you're even talking to them. Now they see that as a problem, low key. But they just asked you, how you doing? See that? They got mad because they're programmed to ask you how you doing. They don't really care about how you doing. You tell a person your story and they say, man, hang in there, keep your head up. And you turn around and you say, about 10 other people said the same exact words that you said. Mind you, I said, what do you think will happen if I was to go around keeping it real with people? If I was to tell people, come on, man, you saying the same thing that everybody else said, they would get upset. The thing is, what's up, Gia? The thing is, when you talk like you know everything. And I'm talking about me. When I talk, I sound like I know everything, apparently. Everybody just always got, it's just the fact that, it's just that you think you know everything. Well, I mean, what do you know? I mean, I'm willing to learn from you. It's just so easy. I think I got off the subject. What's up, Demi? Yeah, they get quiet when the tooth, bro. The truth is being told. I done went all the way off track. Supposed to be talking about the algorithm because I was reading my notes. But the algorithm is evil. Yes, it is. It is one of the biggest reasons why people minds are so gone right now. Um, what they say? Right. Social media has became the new news media. Social media. People watching the news on Facebook. They're watching the news on YouTube. They watching the news clips on TikTok. But social media then got to the point where they didn't became so sick and tired of social media. It's to the point where outside of social media, they live their lives as if they still on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they be the main ones saying, "Oh, I don't really be on Facebook like that." You don't really be on, of course not, because you are Facebook now. You know, you have became the likes and the clicks and the views and stuff. That yeah, you have became your location. You said we need to stop watching the news and go see what's happening outside, right? Go see for yourself. Turn it into jailbait, yeah. You know, um, dang, I thought I had wrote that piece down. Okay, so yeah, I got some notes that I had wrote down here. Social media definitely got a few cases closed out. Social media, you know what? Social media is like social media. Social media is the world. You can do everything on there. You can buy a house. You can buy a car. You can schedule appointments. You can find friends, family, you name it. Anything. Clothes. But the crazy part is when it gets to the point, when it has gotten to the point where the court system starts to use your social media as evidence in court, man, social media is just the world. Social media.
I can save when I road trip safely. Or you're gonna say I save pilot miles. I can save when I staycation. Yeah, with
So, and then we're gonna come back to the other notes because I gotta fit that into the topic, right? Right. The fact that you can even order a car online. We got a few videos that we're gonna react to. Now, I'm not sure if y'all seen this or whatever, but there is a guy by the name of PP Drawings. And his video is just suddenly going viral and surfacing, all around YouTube or whatever. I was supposed to react to this video a few days ago, but I didn't get a chance. He made this video 8 years ago. It's called Everybody Is Not Human. I am so interested in listening to what this man has to say. So put on y'all listening ears and let's hear what this man has to say. Everybody is not human. What did I just get done talking about? I started talking about how people don't even realize that this is the zombie apocalypse that we living in. because people have gone unconscious. They have no conscience right now. They can't even think for themselves anymore. It is just, and then what makes matters worse is the algorithm and how everything is just constantly happening back to back to back to back to back to back to back, which is causing their man to just do 90, in a 30-mile-per-hour lane pretty much. And they don't know what else to do other than work and make money. And they just feel like that's just the only end game. Just working and making money and staying afloat. But that's what they want you to. It's the mind control. That's the thing. Got them running in the wheel even faster. Even faster. But nevertheless, let's hear what he got to say.
I want to start this video off by giving you a chance to prepare for what I'm about to say. So go on and take a deep breath and get ready. All right, long enough. Everybody that you see is not human. Everybody that you see out here is not actually alive, not actually living.
Mm-hmm.
Now today I was just doing a Bible study as usual.
I want to stop right there because, and welcome to the Live Mackenzie. I want to stop right there because I already been saying this though. We live amongst the walking dead, bro. They alive, but they're just walking flesh. It's the fact that they have their own conscience and they can't use it to think for themselves. They need everybody else to think for them. Well, matter of fact, they need to go according to the latest trend. The ones that's in the algorithm.
And I ran across some things that I just couldn't believe. You got to see this. All right. Like I'm saying, and JT, we done talked about this several times.
Wait, he know JT. Oh, this is friend that's going viral. That's crazy. He deserve it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. His message deserves to go through the algorithm so it can wake people up. This is the opportunity that people have right now to open up their eyes. Even though they playing with you in the algorithm, they know that you're going to consume the information in the algorithm. They know that you're going to consume a majority of the people that will supposed to be people but actually zombies. They're not going to be able to store that information. They're unable to store any real life info into their brains. If it's not about work, materialism, money, friends, you name it. If it's not about something fake, they're not going to consume it. That type of info. That's why they pushing this out here like that in my eyes. That's why I see this the way that I see it. Only people that got common sense will understand exactly what he's saying. Only the people that have a conscience, will understand exactly what he's saying. Only the people that have had to experience what he's speaking about will understand. You said too much everything all the time. We need to go back to when TV, yes, used to go off at night no more. Exactly. We need to go back to the TV, shutting off at a certain time. I mean, all people do is scroll. That's all they do. They scroll, and it's bad, and it's bad. It's bad for you. Scrolling is bad for you. Seeing what's in the algorithm so you can give your opinions and your thoughts on that video, just like everybody else, is bad for you. Because the minute that you get to engage in the video that's surfacing, your feelings and your emotions can be attached to that video at that point. That's why some people, they just, man, this video right here really pissed me off, because you have allowed it to. You allowed it to. You allowed the algorithm to eat you alive. You said TV off at night, more self-time without any internet. Yes, these folks need to be forced to spend time with themselves. Yes, yes. Yep, shout out to the people that's in the stream listening, liking. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's exactly why the internet is banned in other countries. You said the scrollers, I be catching myself sometimes like, bro, being in the phone is boring unless you're engaging with someone wise, to be honest. Oh, yes, yes. It is. And I promise you, I throw my phone at times. Not throw it to break it, but I just throw it off to the side. When I start to realize, it's the fact that you have to be conscious enough to realize, hey, I've been in my phone too doggone much. Whoa, hold on. Wait a second. Man, I've been in my phone for an hour. Let me put this down. Just scrolling though. Not doing anything but scrolling. Imagine people, they be sitting in their phones for 4 hours scrolling. For 4 hours scrolling and watching videos. Scrolling and watching videos. Are you gonna realize? Are you going to realize that you ain't got up and cleaned the house? That you ain't got up and cooked anything? Your stomach growling, but matter of fact, you did get up. You did get up, and you placed the order on DoorDash in your phone, or Uber Eats in your phone, because your phone matters so much to you that you have to do everything in your phone. You literally cannot go without your phone. The only time you have to go without your phone is when it's time for you to close your eyes and go night-night. But once you get up, first thing you reach for is your phone. And you start scrolling immediately. Scrolling. Doesn't matter if you're on social media sites. Whatever you're doing, you're scrolling. When you have the ability to know that, okay, I've been in my phone too much. Let me sit this down off to the side. Let me go ahead and start cleaning and cooking or getting ready and getting prepared. When you know that, that's a good sign. But when you don't know that, you might be one of them. You might be one of them. I'm gonna just say that. Yeah, the internet not being alive during my childhood helped me. Yes, yes. I used to love Scrabble, Demi. They used to be my favorite game. Not even wasting a video over 2 seconds, then scroll over 70 times. Yes, yes, yes. I promise you, the algorithm is so dangerous. Because when you see that video that you've been looking for, you are ready to look at it just so that you can give your opinion. You can't wait till you hear what's going on in this video so that you can type in your opinion. And then now you're scrolling through the comment sections because you're trying to see who has a fucked up comment so that you can type underneath their comment and let them know how you really feel about them. Everybody just got opinions, and everybody is ready to get into altercations with one another through comment sections about a video. People ready to get up with each other, link up with each other in person over a damn comment. Let's finish listening to this man.
Over the last 4 this.
Let's go back.
All right. Like I'm saying, and JT, you know, we done talked about this several times. Over the last 4 or 5 years, man, we done talked about this subject so many times. Everybody you see is not human, not alive, not living. There are some people who are actually dead, not real. So check this out. So it won't just be me doing a lot of talking. I'm going to give you scripture after scripture after scripture. Stuff that we done read, but we overlooked. All right, let's start in John 11:25. Jesus made a statement. He said, "He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live." He's talking about actual people who are dead, but through believing in him, you shall live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's real light.
Mm-hmm.
Overlooked, yes, but all right, yeah, you get, okay, let's move on to something else. If you look at Romans 4:17, it says God quickens the dead and calls those things that be not as though they were. We hear that all the time, but look at it, read it slow. God quickens the dead. Once we come in contact with God, he quickens us. We are quickened by the Spirit of God. So what were we before we were quickened? We were dead. Just like some people out here are dead.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm probably losing you, but please hold on. Keep listening.
Well, before he goes any further, spiritually dead, yes. They don't, it's like they hear you, but they don't hear you. It's like you can't get through to them. You can't get through to them. I probably can't get through to a lot of people right now because they're all dead. You know, it's very few that's alive right now. That's why me and my husband, we go out in public, and man, when I tell you, we be so grateful to come across people that are alive. And I mean that, like, on the outside, they alive, but on the inside, they alive. They alive. They give exactly what you said. They get exactly what you saying. They hear what they see where you coming from. You know what I'm saying? They feel your pain. The people, they got compassion still there. They're alive. You know. I mean, if you tell a person your story and everything that you've been through, and they feel inspired by your story, and they feel like they can feel it here, and it's like, man, they're alive. I'm not talking about people that got compassion for these doggone celebrities and stuff like that. Not that you know what I'm saying, they human too, but I'm just saying, you know, real life situations, people that feel a way about that. Anywho, we're grateful when we come across people that can really talk to us, like really talk to us in a positive way, because people that are dead on the inside, you can't get through to them. They're just, and see, oh my goodness, it's like, this is exactly why people got a staring problem. They have a staring problem because they are dead on the inside. just flesh. You say they dead and they think you are, but you got the wrong right, way too numb to feel the pain. Yep. Yeah, of course they finna see why though. They finna see exactly why they're dead on the inside. And they just walk in flesh. There, after today's video, for my people that dislike me so much, that continue to watch me, that watch me so much, they watch me to conjure up some sort of narrative about me. I got something perfect for y'all to watch. Here you go. Shout out to this man right here for saying something that I've pretty much been trying to explain.
If you look at the book of Jude, chapter 1, these type of people are considered clouds without water. Let me see, I got it right here. Clouds, they are without water, carried about of winds. They are considered trees whose fruit withereth. Without fruit, and it says twice dead. Twice dead. Everybody ain't alive. Okay, then we have to go to Matthew 8 and 22. Jesus told a man that wanted to go bury his father before following Christ. He said, let the dead bury their dead. Why is Christ calling these people that are burying his dead father? Why is he calling these people dead? Everybody out here is not alive.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not real.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at John chapter 3, verse 5, Jesus told Nicodemus, they were talking about getting.
You know what's crazy? You said you're not alive when you can't. Exactly. When it gets very hard for you to even have time for yourself, to even look in the mirror to even wonder like how you want to be better, to even have to face yourself to say, you know what, I just want to be a better me today, man. Like, I just want to do better. Bro, when you never even thought that way or felt that way, when you haven't even put yourself, when you haven't even given yourself the opportunity to try to change because you believe in your mind that there is nothing wrong with you at all, you're not alive.
Into the kingdom of heaven and being born again. Jesus said that a man has to be born of water and born of the Spirit, or he will not see the kingdom of heaven. Born of water and born of the Spirit. Now we know that when we are born, babies, when they're born,
Hot.
they are born from
Hot.
water.
Hot.
That is born of water.
Hot.
So one qualification of getting into the kingdom of heaven,
I'm sorry, guys.
is
Hold
to be
on.
born of
Go back.
water. Why
Got a
is
little
Christ
distracted.
saying that is a qualification?
Okay, I want to go. Wait, I want to go back 1 minute.
Dead.
Okay, let's go. Mm-hmm.
Everybody out here is not alive.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not real.
Right. Right.
If we look at John chapter 3, verse 5,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus told Nicodemus, They were talking about getting into the kingdom of heaven and being born again. Jesus said that a man has to be born of water and born of the Spirit, or he will not see the kingdom of heaven. Born of water and born of the Spirit. Now we know that when we are born, babies, when they're born, they are born from water.
Right.
That is born of water. So one qualification of getting into the kingdom of heaven is to be born of water. Why is Christ saying that is a qualification if everybody out here is born of water? I said, why is Christ telling Nicodemus that in order to see the kingdom of heaven, you have to be born of water? If everybody is already born of water, that wouldn't even be a qualification.
Right.
Everybody out here is not real. It's right there in Scripture. We have to allow Christ to come into our hearts so that we can be alive. There are people out here, or who we see as people, they don't even have the opportunity to accept Christ.
Right.
Because they're not real to begin with. They were never born of water to begin with. They're not alive to begin with. And because this is not taught, we don't know this, so we waste a lot of time out here witnessing and trying to talk to people and wondering why we break down life to these people and they still don't accept the truth.
Yep.
Because they can't accept the truth. They're not real.
Ooh, ouch. And it's crazy how it be your own parents. It's crazy how it be your own grandparents. It's crazy how it be the ones that's closest to you. That is exactly what he's describing. Yeah, it's crazy, right? You can't even see that, right? You don't, what? My parents. No, my parents are real. No. When they reject Christ coming in their hearts, when they reject the truth,
who told us that we could reach everybody? We're supposed to be reaching out to the people that God tells us to reach out to. We're supposed to be reaching out to people who Christ puts in our heart to go after. Not every single person, because every single person can't make it in anyway.
Ooh. Right, hubby. You just said this. He just said this earlier. That's crazy. He said majority of the people folks know aren't real, and they know it. You know they not real. You know, they say that it's you that's fake, that's putting on a facade, but it's really them. It's really them. Can't save everybody. Yep. Gotta just drop the jewels facts.
They don't fit the qualification. They're not real. This is why we have to be so careful to be led by the Spirit of God and not led by anything that we heard or led by our own emotions. Now, I have to go to the book of Jude because I'm about to show you in Scripture where we were told that everybody out here is not real. Everybody out here is not human. And this blew my mind because I have read this so many times and never saw it until now. So check me out. We go into the book of Jude. Of course, there's only one chapter in the book of Jude. And let's see. Let's start with verse 6. I won't call out the verses, but I'll just read.
Exactly. Y'all alive but dead on the inside. It's your soul that's dead. You already dead. When you haven't allowed God into your heart. When you justify every wrongdoing. Everything that you do wrong or what someone else did that's wrong and you justify it when you think that crime is normal, when you think haha that's what Charlie Kirk get, he shouldn't have never said this, he should have never said that. When you say, oh, the government better give me my food stamps or I'm gonna flip out, I'm gonna turn some stores upside down. When all you care about is politics, all you care about is working, all you care about is making money, all you care about is materialism. When all you care about is everything that you shouldn't really care about, and all you care about is everything other than God, you're dead on the inside. I don't give a damn how many, and excuse my language, but I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care if you're trying to go to college. I don't care how successful you are. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what side of the country you from. I don't care if you're from another country. At the end of the day, when you dead on the inside, you dead on the inside. None of that other stuff matters. I don't know if y'all see that it is a war for your soul. And when you spiritually dead and your soul is already dead, then they already got you. They already got you.
Starting at verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Mm-hmm. Now this is talking about the fallen angels. Mm-hmm. Okay, it says even as Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's comparing the fallen angels who left heaven. It's comparing them to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. It says even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh. This is what the people did. They gave themselves over to fornication, and they going after strange flesh are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. It says, likewise, also these filthy dreamers, we are back to verse 6, talking about the fallen angels. These filthy dreamers defile the flesh, they despise dominion, and they speak evil of dignities. Yet, Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses. It's saying Michael the archangel disputed against the devil about the body of Moses, but he did not bring against the devil a railing accusation. He didn't accuse him of nothing, but he said, the Lord rebuked thee. But These, talking about the fallen, they speak evil of those things which they know not. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, talking about the fallen, in those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Kor. These are spots in your feast of charity when they feast with you. Okay, hold on a minute now. What does this say? We're talking about the fallen. Where are the fallen? They are in your feast of charity when they feast with you. They're out here feeding themselves without fear. They are right out here with us, communing with us, feasting with us, fellowshipping with us.
In other words, they blending in. They blending right on in.
Without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit wherewith without fruit, withereth without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Go read that. It's letting us know, just like it did back in the beginning of the Bible, where it said that, what did it say about the giants? There were giants in the land in those days and also after that. They never left. The same way those demons.
That's why I follow JWTV, because he actually showed proof and receipts that there's giants here. They still live. They're still here. They still here.
Christ allowed them to go into the swine. And they
right, makes sense. The folks who mock death have a dead soul. No, exactly. Yeah, when you know what I'm saying. When you mock death, you definitely have no soul. Real talk.
Ran off the mountain into the water and drowned themselves so they would be free. Those Nephilim giants who died in the flood, guess what? Those spirits were free. You can't drown a spirit. They never left. And if you go to the book of Jude and read what I just read, it's only one chapter. Go read it. They still here. They're right out here with us, and we looking at them thinking they're human, and they're not. We talking to them, trying to get them to get their life to Christ, but they can't. So many of us are being deceived because we're listening to pastors who are not teaching the truth. They're teaching lies because that's not pastor. That's one of these things. You're falling because you're listening to that guy on YouTube who say he used to be a pastor, but he left the church, and he's giving you all this information to try to get you to lead the church, and you're listening to him not knowing that he is one of these.
He is one of these. Man.
Everybody out here is not human. We better wake up to that truth. Genesis 2:7 says that God breathed the breath of life into Adam, and he became a living soul. The only way to live is through God. That's the only way to live. That's why we have God's system. When we open our mouth and talk, what we speak happens. You know why? Because that breath that you're using is the breath that God breathed into us. And when we use that breath, great things happen.
Yep.
That's why when God created the animals, he brought the animals to Adam. And it says whatever Adam called them, that's what they were. Why? Because Adam is using that breath that God put in him. That breath ain't no joke. But everybody out here don't have that breath because everybody is not human.
A question about this.
Straight up. You know, man. What's up, Christopher? Yep. So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Exactly. Demonic breath, basically, in all words. What he's trying to explain to y'all is, according to the scriptures, it's, imagine he made this video 8 years ago. According to the scripture, it lets us know that we live amongst the walking dead. You know? And when you don't live with God in your heart, you're dead. You're spiritually dead. Spiritually dead. It's just as simple as that. When you won't even allow him in, you're dead. You are already dead. He said, let the dead bury the dead. Man. So, wow. Now, okay. Now we're gonna go to the other playlist because that's where the other video is. Okay, hold on 1 second. Now everything just wanna. Yep, welcome to the live, y'all. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the likes. Let's get on over here to this other video because
Can I show you?
You know what? I just want to say this. If you don't wake up now, honestly, it's now or never. It's now or never. Are you going to continue to ignore what's in front of you? Are you going to continue to ignore what's in front of you? Y'all already know I got to go in with Psychotic. Shout out to Psychotic. This video is what he uploaded today, and it seems very relevant to exactly what we're talking about. The name of this video is This Will Find You When You Need It Most. This will find you when you need it most. Let's go. Improving a little each day turns small steps into great achievements. Yes, yes, and yes. But you have to have the consciousness and you have to be aware, consciously aware. You have to understand exactly what he's saying. Now, I'm not talking about the words like, oh, I know what improving mean. Oh, I know what little mean. Oh, I know what each mean. No. Improving a little each day turns small steps into great achievements. You know, what does that sound like? Change? This might be a great video. Let's go.
You're watching this, and I know exactly what you're thinking. That you'll start tomorrow. That next Monday will be different. That when January arrives, when you finish that project, when the stars align, then yes,
Okay, you saying
you'll
that?
do it. A lie. You know it, right? It's the same lie you've been telling yourself for the last 365 days. And meanwhile, life keeps passing.
All right,
The
hold
month
on, y'all. Let's get this started over.
You're watching this, and I know exactly what you're thinking. That you'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
That next Monday will be different. That when January arrives, when you finish that project, when the stars align, then yes, you'll do it. A lie. You know it, right? It's the same lie you've been telling yourself for the last 365 days.
Come on.
And
man.
meanwhile, life keeps passing.
Yep.
The months evaporate, and you remain in exactly the same place, with the same excuses just a little more worn out. Because let's admit it, excuses age too, but you recycle them as if they were new. Do you know what's the most brutal part of all this? That a year from now you'll be exactly where you are now, or worse, and you'll still swear that this time you really mean it. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. The problem is that you know perfectly well what to do, and you still choose not to do it. And that choice, that small daily surrender, is what's killing you in slow motion. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many self-help books have you read? How many motivational podcasts have you listened to while pretending you were going to apply something? How many inspirational quotes have you saved on your phone to
now.
never look at them again? Hundreds, maybe
Yep.
thousands. And here you
That was me once upon a time, y'all. I used to save motivational quotes off of Google and just keep them stored in my phone. And I never used to care about it being there.
are, without having changed absolutely anything. Do you know why? Because consuming content has become your perfect excuse not to act. You feel productive when you listen to someone talk to you about discipline. You feel enlightened when you read about personal transformation. But when you close the book or turn off the podcast, you go back to the same mediocre routine. You've mistaken learning for doing. And that confusion is costing you the life you could have. Information without action is just entertainment disguised as personal growth. You're a professional spectator of your own existence. Here comes the part that hurts. Within a year, literally everything can change. Your health, your bank account, your relationships, your career, everything.
Yep.
But it can also stay exactly the same.
Yep.
And what determines which side you fall on isn't luck. It isn't destiny. It isn't circumstances. It's you. It's always been you. Every day that passes without you doing something different is a day in which you vote in favor of mediocrity. It's as if you were in a permanent election, and every morning you choose to stay where you are. And do you know what's worse? You've become so good at justifying inaction that you no longer even see it as a choice. You call it not the right moment. You call it waiting for the right opportunity. You call it being realistic. But the truth is simpler and harsher. You call it cowardice. The human being has an extraordinary capacity to deceive himself. We tell ourselves that we're waiting for the perfect moment, when in reality, we're waiting for fear to disappear. Newsflash: fear never disappears. Socrates knew it 2,400 years ago, when he said that knowledge without action is useless. But we keep believing that knowing is enough. We know we should exercise, eat better, work on our projects, have difficult conversations. We know everything, and we do nothing. Because knowing doesn't hurt. Doing does. Changing implies discomfort.
But see, that's exactly why I said, when you know, right? Because according to people, when you know better, you do better. But it's the fact that you know and you're not acting on it at all. You just you consume that information, but it's not going anywhere. It's like you not acting on any of that stuff. You just consumed it. That's it. It's just there.
implies giving up the comfortable version of yourself, implies admitting that you've been wrong for years, and your ego prefers the familiarity of mediocrity over the discomfort of growth. Now comes the question that will make you uncomfortable. What have you built with all that knowledge?
With AI, you can create any character you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets. Knowledge you've accumulated. Where are the results of all those hours consuming inspiring content? Because if you're honest, very honest, you'll admit that you've spent more time watching videos about success than working on your own success. You've invested more energy fantasizing about the life you want than building it. And meanwhile, there's someone out there with fewer resources than you, with less talent than you, with fewer advantages than you, who is getting results. Do you know why? Because while you were waiting to feel ready, that person started without being ready. While you were looking for the perfect motivation, that person acted without feeling it. The difference between those who achieve something and those who only talk about achieving it is brutally simple. Action versus intention. And here is the concept that will change everything if you truly understand it. 1%. That's all. A miserable 1% better each day. I'm not asking you to become someone else overnight. I'm not telling you to revolutionize your life in 24 hours.
Right.
I'm telling you to be 1% better today than yesterday.
Right.
Sounds ridiculous, right? Almost insulting in its simplicity.
Yep.
But let me show you something that will blow your mind. If you improve 1% every day for a year, you won't end up being 365% better. You'll end up being 37 times better than when you started. 37 times. Do you understand what that means? It means that the person you are now and the person you could be a year from now are practically unrecognizable from each other.
You feel? Come on. Yes. I'm telling, I ain't even watched this video yet. This is my first time watching this. He sound exactly like me right now. You know? That's why I'm like, people, when you talk about the word change, they say change. I ain't gotta change nothing about myself. You sound crazy as hell. Man, I'm telling you, there's something, we all have at least one flaw. You come on now. At least one flaw.
But here's the trap. The part no one tells you. That 1% is compounded. It doesn't add up, it multiplies. Each small improvement builds on the previous one. It's like compound interest, but applied to your life. The problem is that most people quit because the 1% is invisible. You don't see it. The first day you decide to improve 1%, nothing dramatic happens. The first week, neither. The first month, you barely notice a difference. And that's where most people give up. Because we live in a culture of instant gratification, where if we don't see results in a week, we assume it's not working.
Man, he said that. He said that. Instant gratification. You hear me? I mean, people need they need you to, it's like, see, I changed. You ain't gonna say nothing? No, you ain't gonna say nothing. If you changed, are you gonna acknowledge that you changed? Or are you gonna wait for everybody else to acknowledge your change or what you believe is change? Now you know what you did. You know what change you made.
But great changes are not evident at the beginning. They're evident at the end. It's like planting bamboo. The first 5 years you see nothing, absolutely nothing. But in the 6th year, it grows 30 meters in 6 weeks. Did it grow in 6 weeks?
The moniker for success is like loving the life you live. Happiness. Yeah, and loving the way you got there. And then like everything in the...
No. It grew for 5 years underground, building roots. Now think about this. How many times have you started something and abandoned it because you didn't see immediate results? How many times have you thrown in the towel in week 2, in month 1, just before the compound effect began to work its magic? Most people are 3 months away from changing their lives, but they quit at 3 weeks. And then they complain that nothing works. Nothing works because you don't work. You don't have the patience. You don't have...
Right, but let them tell it they do work. I go to work every single day. Right, but at what point was you going to work on yourself? Well, it's a work in progress. Okay, so are you going to allow yourself to, grow? I'm still working on myself. I hate when people be saying that. I'm still working, knowing they ain't working on themselves. The only work that they doing on themselves is putting on their clothes, getting themselves ready so they can go to actual work.
Have the consistency. You don't have the discipline.
Yep.
You want the result without the process.
Come on, man.
You want the transformation without the pain. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Pain.
And also, fools want wisdom, but they don't want to do what it takes to have that, though. They don't want to do what it takes to have the wisdom, though. They don't even want to allow themselves to grow mentally at all.
But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Pain is mandatory. Suffering is optional. You're going to feel discomfort anyway. You can feel it growing, or you can feel it stagnating. Choose. Seneca wrote something 2,000 years ago that's still more relevant than any modern motivational post. He said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Read that again. Slowly. Things aren't difficult just because. They're difficult because you never started. That conversation you fear having becomes harder every day you postpone it. That project you avoid becomes more intimidating with each passing week. That decision you fear making becomes heavier each month you drag it. The difficulty isn't in the thing itself. It's in your refusal to face it. And the longer you wait, the bigger the monster in your head grows. Do you know what happens to the version of you that waits for the perfect moment?
I'm telling you, imagine the people that's 80-plus-year-old. Give me 1 second, y'all.
Grows old waiting. Literally. The years pass, opportunities close, doors shut, and you keep waiting. Waiting to have more money, more time, more energy, more confidence. How much more do you need? How much more do you expect to accumulate before taking the first step? Because here's the brutal irony.
I'm just saying.
You will never feel ready. Never.
You will never feel ready. All you're going to ever feel ready for is materialism. You know what I'm saying? It's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame when people don't pour into themselves, though, at all. They feel like they're pouring into themselves when they go to the store and they purchase items for their household or for themselves. That's pouring into themselves. When they go to work and they know that they've worked so much that they have an opportunity to retire, that's pouring into themselves. You don't ever sit back and ask yourself, like, why do they want me to work all the way until I'm old enough to retire? What are you going to be able to do? You're gonna be pretty much limited on the things that you do because the most of you guys that do work until retirement, you don't want to exercise. You don't want to stay in shape. You don't want to stay healthy. I know way too many people that's retired and all they do is eat and lay around and order more stuff and tell everybody else how they should live their lives because hey, they made it to retirement. You know, you need to live your life like a lot like how they did so you can reach that point. But ain't nobody pouring into themselves no more at all. That don't even exist. Like he said, when you don't and you continue to reject and deny the fact that you don't need to change, that monster is going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger up in your head. And your mind is going to become so corrupted that you will probably be one of the worst people to have to be around because you're spiritually dead. You're dead. Buying something to replace literally pouring into themselves with love and care. Exactly. Can't use money to pour into themselves unless y'all finna eat some debit card nachos. Right? You know, for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like you will literally buy yourself something or keep yourself busy doing something so that you won't have to spend that time with yourself. That is, man, this is crazy.
The version of you that waits to feel ready will die waiting.
Oh man, come on, man. We just got
The truth is, not every child gets the chance to go to the movies. In North America alone, more than 20 million kids may.
Those who achieve something don't wait to feel ready. They start and become ready in the process. Competence is built by doing, not waiting.
Right.
Confidence comes after action, not before.
Uh-huh.
And here comes something that will sound contradictory, but is absolutely true. Change is at the same time the easiest and the hardest thing you will ever do.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy because it only requires one decision. Just one. Decide today that you're going to be different and start.
Come on.
That's all.
Come on.
You don't need a 50-page master plan.
Come on, man. Ooh, yes. Yes, right. You said that. Self-neglect. Exactly. Yep, you got to be consistent with the change. You can't say, "Oh, you know what? You know what? After I'm done watching this video, watching her speak about this or listening to this, I'm about to go change." People will literally change a little piece of them, a little piece of them. And then tomorrow they back doing the same. No, no, no. You got to be consistent with that change. And matter of fact, you got to want that change to be able to be consistent. If you don't want the change and you just doing it for validation, then are you ready?
You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need to announce it on social media. You just need to do something different today. But it's also the hardest because it requires that you make the same decision tomorrow.
Come on, man.
And the day
Exactly.
after tomorrow.
Yep.
And the day after that.
Yep.
Change is not an event. It's a process. It's not a single decision. It's 1,000 small decisions repeated until they become who you are. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote about this same concept in his personal journal. He said, "You can choose how things affect you, and you can always choose again. You can always choose again. Every morning you wake up with the power to choose who you're going to be that day."
Yes. Come on.
The problem
man.
is that most people...
Yes, that is so true. Because, say for instance, I was to wake up today and I immediately decided, a situation that happened 2 days ago. I want to let that situation from 2 days ago, work all inside of me to the point where I feel so irritated, so angry. Now I have, opinions, just like people in the comment section. Now I have opinions about the situation that happened a couple days ago. Now I just let it affect me. Now that determines who I want to be today. And based on any little thing that happens in your path, if you let it affect you at any given second, any given moment, you didn't chose to be who you are that day. So if everybody that you come across say it look like you got an attitude, or you act like you got an attitude, and you show that you have an attitude, you know why you got an attitude. You know who you chose to be before you walked out your damn house and put yourself out there in the world. Come on, man. Yes, I appreciate that, because I'm
Choose by default, not by design. They let life carry them instead of directing life. And then they're surprised when they end up in places they never consciously chose. Your life right now is the sum of all the small decisions you have made until today. If you don't like where you are, change the decisions.
Come on, bro.
It sounds simple because it is.
Yes.
It isn't easy.
Come on, man. Y'all be trying to make it seem like y'all obligated to do everything else. You obligated to go to work. You huff and puff as you getting in your vehicle or standing at the bus stop on your way to work. You act like you obligated to go to the store. You act like you just obligated. You live your life off straight obligation every day. But you don't feel like you obligated to pour into yourself. You don't feel like you should be obligated to love yourself, to want change for yourself. Why would you want to walk around every single day miserable? You know misery loves company, right? When you're miserable, then them other souls, they're attracted to your misery. Now they attracted to your misery. Now they're miserable just as well as you are. Right, I'm finna go to the job. Been working for 78 years. Right, chest up, chin up. You wanted this. Come on, get your head in the game. Type, get your head in the game. I'm just saying. And then y'all be literally having all of these quotes and stuff when it comes down to working a job. It's like, man, you gotta put yourself out there, man. You gotta push yourself in that out there. You gotta put your best foot forward. You got this, man. Don't give up. Keep going. But y'all don't have those same quotes for y'allself. You ready to tell a person what they should do based off of your success within the work industry. You successful in the work industry, and that's the only success that you do have. You don't even want better for yourself from within, though. You spiritually dead just as well. You are a working flesh. Yes, you a hard worker. That's all you are. Because you don't want anything else other than to be labeled as a hard worker. You know?
But it is simple. Now let me directly attack something you're probably thinking. But my situation is different. You don't understand my circumstances. I have obstacles that others don't. Yes, you have obstacles. Everyone does. But the obstacles aren't the problem. Your relationship with the obstacles is. There are people who have achieved extraordinary things from far worse places than yours. There are people who have built empires from poverty, who have healed from terminal illnesses, who have succeeded after losing it all. Were they special? No. They were determined. They turned obstacles into fuel instead of excuses. And here's the crucial difference. Obstacles stop those who look for reasons to stop, but they propel those who look for reasons to continue. You decide which group you're in. The reality is this. In 365 days, you will be in a completely different place.
Get Astound Wi-Fi starting at just $19.95 a month forever. Switch now, and here's the game changer. Your
question isn't whether you will change, because you will change anyway. Time passes, cells renew, nothing stays static. The question is in which direction you'll change, because you can be 365 days closer to the life you want, or 365 days farther. You can be building or destroying. There's no middle point. Neutrality is an illusion. Every day you don't move forward, you go backward because everyone else is moving forward. The world doesn't stop because you decide to press pause. It keeps turning, it keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, you fall behind. And here comes the most brutal part of all. You cannot change your past. It's done. All those decisions you made, all those opportunities you let slip, all those years you lost, they're gone. They don't return. You can cry over them. You can regret them. You can torture yourself mentally, replaying every mistake, but they won't change. The past is immovable. But the ending you can change. You can change how this story ends. Think of any great movie, any great book. The story may start in a dark place. The protagonist may make terrible mistakes in the second act. He may lose everything in the climax. But the ending redeems it. The ending gives meaning to everything that came before. Your story is still being written. You have the power to change the ending. But to change the ending, you need to do something radical. You need to show yourself who you can become. Not others, yourself. Because here's the secret no one tells you. You don't change to impress others. You change to prove to yourself that you can. Every promise you make to yourself and keep is a deposit in the bank of self-confidence. Every promise you make and break is a withdrawal. And most people are bankrupt in self-confidence because they've spent years making promises they don't keep. I'll start Monday. You don't. This year will be different. It isn't. Tomorrow for sure. You don't do it. And each broken promise teaches you not to trust yourself. You become someone even you can't believe in. Epictetus explained it brutally. First decide who you will be, then do what you must do. Most people do the opposite. They do things at random, hoping to discover who they are. But it doesn't work that way. First you decide. You decide you will be someone disciplined. Then you act with discipline. You decide you will be someone brave. Then you do things that scare you. Identity precedes action. You don't wait to feel disciplined to act with discipline. You act with discipline until you become someone disciplined. It's a process of trial and error where you prove to yourself that you are capable. And every time you act consistently with the identity you want to have, that identity solidifies. Here's something no one has probably ever told you. You don't need motivation. Motivation is garbage. It's fleeting, emotional, unreliable. It comes and goes like waves. One day you're motivated, the next you're flat. And you know what? Great achievements aren't built on motivated days. They're built on gray days when you feel nothing and still show up. Those are the days that count. Anyone can work when they're inspired. But
He
working when you're
said,
tired,
hard working, dead flesh, body with a mouth.
you're sad, when you don't see the point, that is where those who truly achieve something are forged. Discipline beats motivation every time. Discipline is waking up at the same time even if you don't feel like it. It's doing the work even if no one sees it. It's keeping the commitment even when it costs you. And that is what separates those who talk from those who do. Think about this. If you start today, if you really start today, in 30 days, you'll have built a habit. In 90 days, you'll have transformed part of your life. In 180 days, you'll be unrecognizable.
Yep.
In 365 days, you'll be the person you now only imagine being. But everything Absolutely everything depends on you starting today, not tomorrow. Today, because tomorrow is the Neverland where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is where you deposit all your intentions so they can rot. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Only today exists. This moment, this decision. And I know what you're thinking. It's too late for me. I've wasted too much time. I should have started years ago. Listen carefully. The best moment to start.
I'm just gonna listen to what he about to say when he say the best moment to start, because I feel like,
which is an all-in-one.
What?
Start was 10 years ago. The second best moment is now.
Yep.
Period.
Now. Period.
There is no third option.
Come on.
You can lament the time you lost, or you can start recovering it. But you can't do both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Either you cry over what you didn't do, or you build what you will do.
Mm-hmm.
Choose.
Mm-hmm.
And choose quickly,
Mm-hmm.
because every second you spend deciding is a second you're not moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
There is a question you should ask yourself every night before going to sleep. Did I do something today that brings me closer to who I want to be? One single thing. You don't need to change the world in a day. You need to do one thing. Read one page. Write one paragraph. Make one phone call. Take one step. One single thing that makes you 1% better. And tomorrow, something else. And the day after, something else. And in a year, you'll have done 365 things. And those 365 small actions will have compounded into something massive.
Yep.
Something you never thought possible. Because the secret of success isn't in grand, dramatic gestures.
I'm telling you, man, it's so, for instance, I mean, when I tell you 1% every single day, you want to make that change. You want to be as consistent with whatever you decided to change about yourself. One thing that I started off with was the friendships. I had to end it. I had to, remove people from my circle because they just wasn't good for me. They was not good for me. They wasn't good for my sanity. I couldn't continue to put myself around people that I knew didn't care about me. They didn't believe in me. It was bad enough I barely believed in myself, but man, they ain't believe in me. They put me down just as well as I would put myself down. But when I tell you that isolation period that I had to go through of no friends, no speaking to nobody, I literally poured into myself. I took care of self mentally. I wanted better. I prayed. Every day I would pray. He said, so if you out here working overtime to bring a mother down 365 days, then that is the person you will become, a mother hater. For real. You done poured into 1% of hatred each and every day, instead of taking that 1% and pouring into yourself each and every day so that you can change for the better and really be somebody that you've always wanted to be. You said, what made what made you change into such a great woman? What guidance do you have for women or mothers who want to change for better? All right, so, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and play this instrumental and answer these two questions before we close out. You said, what made you change into such a great woman? What made me change into such a great woman? Trial and error. The things that I've been through in my life you know, over the last I'm sorry, 7 to 9 years, I've been through a lot, man. And it taught me a lot from everything that I've been through. It taught me a lot. It showed me that, hey, all right, now, do you want to change or you don't? Do you want to be miserable every day of your life? Like going through this, do you want to just walk around with a dark cloud hovering over your head every day? I'm telling you, I sat there and I thought about that because I started to picture how depressing it could be to be so negative every day. How bad it is, to be such a negative person every single day of your life. Is that what you want? Do you want to stir up chaos along your journey? Or do you want to make peace with people? Rather it's people that you took out of your circle, or rather it's just because I took you out of my circle don't mean that I hate you. It's just that I felt the need to do that so that I can work on myself because I care too much about myself. That's why. I love myself enough to want change. I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses to not change. I had to literally, I turned pain into positive. I'm telling you, man, the isolation phase that I went through, I thought, still to this day, I'd be like, dang, I can't believe I really did that in a good way, because I never thought that, to be honest, I could really live without people for real, because I always felt like I needed somebody there for me, even at least one or two people at least. I always felt like I just needed somebody there for me. But when I went through that isolation phase, I realized that I ain't need nobody but God. That God is everything I needed. He is my best friend, my father, my mother, my sibling, everything. Everything. Real talk. And when I allowed God to lead me through the isolation phase, I'm telling you, I felt like a brand new person because I started to do things that I wouldn't usually do. What things did I start to do? I started to move differently. I started to self-educate. Pray a lot more. And when I say I started pouring into myself, I would look in the mirror and tell myself I love myself. No matter what. I started going to the gym at the time, exercising. Come home, I would read books. I would pray again. I would take a bath. I would watch a movie whenever I felt like watching a movie. Straight isolation, like I wasn't talking to nobody. The only person that I was talking to around that time was God. That's what helped me to be. And then the crazy part is when I started to grow to love myself, it was through the fire. When I literally was going through the fire, man. I was going through it. Sometimes that's all it takes. It takes for you to really have to go through something in order to see a change within yourself. So unfortunately, some people don't change at all. People, Like I said before, people will serve 20 to 30 years in prison, get out, and still be the same person. But they swore behind the prison walls that they changed. That old them, that's no longer them anymore. They changed for the better. And then when they get out, they show you that they really didn't. You said, what guidance do you have for women or mothers who want to change for the better? If you want to change, first and foremost, you got to stay as consistent as possible with it. Like he said, pour into yourself 1% every day. Every day. Just how y'all sit there and y'all say, put your best foot forward, and you got to put yourself out here, and you got to want better, and you got to want a job, and you got to want this, and you got to want that. When you manifest that so that you can get a job and get some money, then you can manifest positivity in your life and for yourself. You can manifest positive things enough to change for the better. That thing that's so bad that you do. Because we at least, all of us in this world, we at least got one thing that's bad. Well, a bad habit of something. Even if that means biting your nails too much. It could be anything. It don't matter. Drinking too much doggone Kool-Aid or something. Anything that you gotta want to change about yourself. Once you want that change and you identify what it is that you want to change. Say, for instance, like I said, you drink too much Kool-Aid. Chris was already in here and said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He keeps saying the same thing. I don't know if that's a robot or a real person. I don't know. But if you say to yourself, man, I drink too much Kool-Aid, I need to stop. Stop. Immediately. Just stop. Don't put it off. If you saying that that's what you need to do, why don't you try to fix that and work on that every single day? 1%. 1%. Every day. Start off by saying, you know what? Today I'm going to just substitute the Kool-Aid for water. And make it a habit. Create new habits in a positive way. Oh, okay. It's cool. What's up, Chris? Actually, we about to get ready and end this stream anyway. But yeah, you gotta want better for yourself. And I'm not talking about a job. It's the fact that people really have that slave mentality. Any word that comes out your mouth, they believe that you're talking about a job or some way to get money. People are looking and searching for those words on the internet. They want to hear you say, oh, you mean pour into yourself so you can get a job? They want to hear you say that. Oh, you mean pour into yourself so we can get some more money? Cause the holiday coming up and we need some money. So they are looking and searching for people to help them to figure out how to create new ideas so that those new ideas can help them to make more money. Because evidently people are never, satisfied with what they have. They need more. Most importantly, they need to show off for social media and for everybody else around them and show, hey, I bought this person something for Christmas. So that makes me who I am today. And I'm going to carry that with me all the way until New Year's Eve. And then once I carry that with me all the way into New Year's Eve, on New Year's Day, I guarantee you I'm going to be a better person. And then they go into 2026 thinking that they changed, and the whole time, nope, they didn't. Yep, if you don't find yourself within, you find yourself without. So yeah, we're gonna get ready and end this stream, but yeah, people, they just, and then they come in here and they do stuff like that, and it's like that's their problem. They're not taking things serious enough, and they're comfortable where they're at. They're comfortable remaining spiritually dead. You got people out here with these jobs and careers, and they think that they're doing an amazing job with what they do, but the whole time they're really doing bad things, and they feel like they're great people. See, the thing is, it's easy for anybody to do things bad, because bad gets justified nowadays. Bad is normalized nowadays. To do bad is actually a good thing in the eyes of the people that do bad, because they're spiritually dead. So when you don't want to pour into yourself so that you can change that about yourself, change how you know good and damn well that you're doing a bad job. You know you are. It's the fact that you know that you are. Today is the day for people. I don't care who see this video or live stream. Today, you have an opportunity to change. You know that there's something about you that you want to change. You got the opportunity. Why keep putting it off? Why wait until New Year's Eve to do that? You can do it now. And you can start with 1%. And don't try to justify that. Don't say, oh man, let me see. Okay, well, let me see. I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna still do this at the same time. Like, nah. Just a day at a time, yeah. And just because you mess up one time, it doesn't mean that you're such a horrible person. Don't put yourself down. Right. Ain't no what's up, Naeem? Ain't no I'm gonna start tomorrow type time, and just start now. Stop putting it off. I've been there. I said, man, I'm gonna give myself a few more weeks and then I'm gonna change. But I just need to enjoy my life a little bit more. I need to have fun. Why does it always gotta be about fun when you can literally change now? All that energy that you put into fun, you could put that same energy into changing your ways. I had somebody tell me before, you take the F out of fun. I said, oh, why is that? They said, because you take everything too serious. Yeah, I do, because my life is serious, and my life is not a joke, and my life is not a game. My life is not a game. So I'll take the F out of fun, because life ain't always about fun. It ain't. It's really about pouring into yourself and not neglecting self. But I know a lot of people know nothing about that and they probably still don't get it. But hey, what that say? Wake them folks up. You can't do that for everybody. When they spiritually dead, they just gone. Exactly. To joke with undereducated evil folks, right? Right. I don't have time to sit and debate with you about why you should change. I've told people that they should change, and they looked at me and told me, no, you should change. You the one that need to change. Even though they see the change, even though they know that there's things that changed about me and they even admitted it, they're telling me that I need to change because they refuse to see that I changed. Matter of fact, they want me to change even though they already seen the change because I told them that they should change. And people don't like when you talk to them like they're a little child. Whole time you really not talking to them like they're a child. You just trying to get them some advice, some real advice. And since you call yourself a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man, then you would accept it. But a lot of y'all can't accept it, and y'all flip out like little toddlers. You feel like when someone is trying to help you, they're trying to tell you what to do. Oh, let me guess. It's not what they say. It's how they're saying it. A lot of y'all out there, you know you should pour into yourself. But y'all let social media pour into y'all. Y'all let the algorithm pour into y'all. Y'all let fame, money, financial success, and education, and, don't get me wrong. Yes, we should be educated for sure. But, some people take their educations way too far and way too serious. It's to the point where they label themselves something that they're not. For instance, doctors. Whole time they don't have the degree to be a doctor. They don't have they were not educated in that area enough. They didn't graduate with their degree. They didn't get a certificate to show that they're a doctor. They just call themselves doctors. But they don't pour into themselves at all unless they're working on their job title. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling y'all gotta wake up now. We live amongst the walking dead. We live amongst the walking dead, for real. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate everybody for listening. Appreciate everybody for the likes. I really do. Hopefully y'all were interested in this topic enough to like it, because some people just feel like, hey, I'm stopping by, I'm gonna just drop a like. Even though I ain't gonna listen to it, I'm gonna just put a like. Well, I appreciate that. I still want to encourage y'all to hear me out and understand what I'm saying. I do know that can't help everybody out there, but please know that if you don't allow God in your heart, then you just dead on the inside and you just walk in flesh. Yep. All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here. Stay tuned for the next live stream. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button too. Appreciate everybody. Wake them folks up.